question?
Please, yeah.
Um, about services tomorrow, the website said we'd get the link today. It hasn't come to me. I'm wondering if it hasn't gone out yet or if we didn't get it.
If you haven't received it, it means that it hasn't been sent. Um,
Okay,
but if you registered, you should receive that link either today or tomorrow for sure.
okay. Thank you.
Yes. Welcome to everyone joining us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. We are about to start. We're going to give it another minute for the last few people to join us on the Zoom call. In the meantime, you can begin to close your eyes and make sure you have found for yourself as comfortable a sitting position as possible. Since we are so close to Rosh Hashanah, I decided to bring us to Jerusalem today. So we're going to get started. As always, I invite you to take a minute or two to mindfully relax, to use every out breath that you begin to mindfully observe. To just let go. To release any tension you might find anywhere from your feet to your calves and knees, making sure your knees are such that your sitting position is not causing any stretch or pain to your knees. It's always very important to be mindful of that when we sit for longer periods of time. Make sure to relax your thighs, even your buttocks muscles, to really let yourself sink into the seat that is holding you. Always keeping your straight spine. But to really let go into the gravity pulling you down. Do that for your shoulders. Let them really drop down and away from your ears. Same with your hands. Wherever you have your hands resting, let them feel very heavy right now. So heavy that you couldn't move them even if you wanted to. And then let the belly completely relax. We have a tendency to tighten the belly to hold it in. Let go of that. Let your belly expand fully and freely as you inhale, as far out as it wants to go. Without forcing it, just following the natural rhythm of the breath, of course. Without trying to control anything. Never. but release the belly completely. And the same with the muscles of your face. Let them melt. The cheeks, tension sometimes around the eyes, the jaw. Personally, I like to meditate with my mouth slightly open so that my jaw can rest. But it's really up to you, whatever is most restful for you. And then some like to keep the tongue at the roof of the mouth. I like to just let it sit at the bottom of my mouth. And even though it might cause me to swallow from time to time, I just do that and it's okay. Again, it's just for me a way to relax completely the face. And like I say, from time to time, just check in every 3 or 4 minutes during your meditation. Check in to see if you tensed again anywhere and consciously relax again. And use again every out breath to relax a little more, to surrender into now, to let everything be just as it is, letting go of our need to change anything, letting go of any wish we might have for this moment to be any different than it is, for ourselves to be any different than we are, for this time on this planet to be any different than it is. Letting go of all of those layers of control, of holding, of tensing. Stop playing God, really. And just let the river of life flow as it must, as it is, without trying to dam it this way or that way, to change its banks, to whatever. Just be with the flow of life as it is. You're not in charge. You're not responsible for the flow of life. So just breathe and relax. Let the world drop from your shoulders. It's not yours to carry. You're not the world's manager. Let go of all your burden, all of that heavy baggage you still insist on carrying. Just put it on the floor right now. Just drop it for now. You can pick it up at 12:32. Just be unencumbered right now. Be free from anything and everything. You're not in charge. There's nothing expected of you anymore. There's nothing you have to pretend to be. Nothing you have to pretend that you can manage. You can't manage anything. So just give it up. Just give it up. Put it down. And that's the place I invite you to draw a breath for shalom from. Finding the natural rhythm of the breath again after the chanting. Letting the body just rest in its own rhythm. The natural flow of the pulsating of its life, just as it is. You're not in charge of that either. You're not in charge of the breath. You're not in charge of the heart beating. You're not in charge of the blood flowing. You're not in charge of all the thousands upon thousands of chemical exchanges and molecular interactions and all the things going on. You're not in charge of growing your hair. You're not in charge of anything, really. There is body. There is a wearing of body, of sensations. But as we found out earlier this week, whatever can be observed isn't the observer. Any sensation that can be observed is not the observer. So the totality of sensations that the mind reconstructs as the label body is simply an object that can be observed, and therefore isn't that which is observing. Any sensation that is being awared right now arises within the spaciousness of awareness, but it is not awareness. Whatever can be observed, can be seen, can be tasted, is not, never was, the observer. that breath, the sensations of the breath coming in, the sensations of the breath coming out, isn't my breath. It can be observed as I am observing it now, aware of the sensations, cold as it moves in, warm as it goes out. If I paid close attention, I could even pinpoint where the sensation, when the sensation first arises, as the cool sensation is first perceived, and when the sensation of warmth, as the body exhales, is first perceived. And that sensation arising, that perceiving, isn't the perceiver. Same thing with our thoughts. Our thoughts. Again, the language betrays us. Same things with thoughts. Just as I am not in charge of beating the heart, breathing the breath, growing the hair, beating the heart, nobody is in charge of thinking the thoughts. Thoughts, if we pay close attention, arise on their own, overwhelmingly by association, one thought leading to another, leading to another. But nobody is in charge. No one is in control of thinking. If there was such an entity in control of thinking, we could manipulate thinking. We could stop thinking. We could probably only think thoughts we want to think. Good thoughts, loving thoughts, courageous thoughts, positive thoughts. But that's not the case. If we pay close attention, we might even find in our meditation practice that the awareing of a thought happens after the thought has already arisen. There can be awareing until the thought is already here. Awareing wouldn't know what the thought is until after the thought has already been formed. Just look. Thoughts are objects perceived. They are not the perceiver. Thoughts are observed after they have been thought, but they are not the observer. Without the observer, no thought could be perceived. Without the observer, no sensation could be observed. Without the observer, nothing would be or exist. Yet paradoxically, the observer isn't the observed. You are not your thoughts. You are not the body. Rest as the observer and let everything arise. It isn't you. And you're not in charge. Just remain aware. Aware and equanimous. Always aware. Always equanimous. And we gently let go of our practice for now. Taking a couple of deeper breaths to transition out of our meditative state of consciousness. Wiggling our toes and our fingers, moving our hands, our feet, and if we so choose, to stretch the body as well. And if you're going to pick up your bag again, if you're going to put on your hat that says "in charge," be gentle with yourself. Be kind. We'll close this meditation with a threefold Shalom chant, dedicating our practice not just selfishly for ourselves, but for all beings. That all beings, anywhere in the world, might find the wholeness, the harmony, the inner peace that we might have tasted through this meditation practice today. That all beings might find Shalom. Moderni.
No,
Thank
John.
you.
Thank you.
Mudani.
Thank you.
Till tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Olivier. So grateful. Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you, Rabbi.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.